Marine pollution of plastics is not a new conversation. It's a conversation we've been having for decades. Unfortunately, it's still happening. In just over 100 years, we have produced more plastic than any other man-made material on the planet. Plastic debris never really breaks down. Nearly all plastic produced is still in existence today. Microplastics are small plastics, usually less than 5 millimeters. They come from large plastics breaking down, or are produced as small plastics such as microbeads in toothpaste and lotions. Plastic marine debris is a threat multiplier. Degradation of larger plastics is slow but constant. These larger plastics continually break down over time and constantly raise levels of microplastics in the ocean. Plastics like drinking bottles, plastic bags, fishing gear, tires and styrofoam enter the ocean whole. The impacts of these items to marine life can include entanglement, starvation, and drowning. Lost fishing nets keep fishing. Microplastics are ingested by many marine species, from tiny zooplankton all the way up the ocean food chain to whales. Bamfood is this small community on the west coast of Vancouver Island that's really exposed to the Pacific Ocean. And as a marine biologist, I spend a lot of time both in and on the water in these remote places and get to see firsthand the plastic and marine debris that washes up on these shorelines.
The beaches on the west coast of Vancouver Island are quite challenging in terms of operating a boat and getting ashore. There's tons of rocks, big waves, currents. We're right on the outside, so there's nothing slowing the waves that are coming in. There's no islands in the way, so there's really no protection. I had a pretty good sense that there would be a fair amount of debris to clean up based on some physical surveys of the beach, so we knew we had kind of a significant accumulation in that area. We came against wind, waves, rain, fog, pretty much every condition other than snow. And then the actual debris itself, like there's so much of it, it doesn't take very long to get enough debris together so that it's heavy enough that you can't lift it.
The main sources are uncontrolled waste streams from land, where are plastic products such as textiles and vehicle tires, cargo losses at sea, and direct inputs from maritime industries. Extreme events such as floods, storms, and tsunamis can also deliver significant volumes of debris into the oceans. Marine debris and plastics are controlled by tides, currents, waves, and wind. Nearly half of the plastic sinks directly due to its low buoyancy and concentrates in deep water. Some floating plastics accumulate in ocean gyres, which are massive circular currents that trap floating plastic for decades, if not centuries. Ultimately, coastlines are the final resting place for most floating ocean plastic. There is a brief window where it can be removed from the cycle.
So we're finding like big bits or medium bits and little bits all over the place, sometimes stuff as big as a surfboard, sometimes pieces of dock. And they float around and then they just shed. Little bits just spread out all over the ocean, all over the beach. The longer it stays there, the harder it gets to clean up. And this is a huge amount of what we're finding on the beaches. Goes up into the trees, stays there for a while, the animals pick at it, floats back out of the ocean to another beach, and the cycle just goes on and on.
Microplastic is now omnipresent in the environment. It is all around us in lakes, rivers, and the ocean, in animals and even our newborn babies, in the air that we breathe, in the dust that accumulates on our floors. The long-term effects of microplastic ingestion on our health are not yet fully understood. Given the remote nature of these sites, helicopters brought in to long line the collected debris out to barges that were moored adjacent to the shoreline. Where possible, the majority of debris was sent to be recycled at the Ocean Legacy facility in Richmond. Here they have a fantastic program that upcycles marine plastics and debris into usable products. Everything that could not be salvaged or recycled was sent to a landfill.
We cleaned 53 kilometers of remote, vessel-accessible only coastline, removing more than 4 tons of primarily plastic debris. Of this, 10% was reusable and 68 was upcycled into new usable products. Hopefully we do get the opportunity to go out and do more of these, because it was a very rewarding experience at the end of the day.
The success of this project was not only in the amount of debris that we removed from the system, but in the community coming together and different partners working to leave this place better.